What's going on, guys? It's Kyle. Welcome to the Stock Goat YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be covering the Sofi stock. We got extremely bullish news. You can see on my YouTube channel, I took off about 3-4 days because I was waiting for this news to finalize, and I knew it was going to be happening by the end of this week, and that is the forgiveness plan of $400 billion that, Biden was hoping for, and it has got shot down by the Supreme Court. Of course, we knew that student loans was already going to be starting, but this was just the final 10 to 15% of, like market share out there for forgiveness. Remember, guys, the student loan market right now is over 1.5 trillion. So the 400 billion would have definitely been a small hit. But this is extremely bullish for SoFi. This is a double whammy. And you're not seeing that in the price action today. There's a lot of stuff going on out there, a lot of headlines. We got downgrades coming out. We got, bearish articles, a lot of puts and calls. I would not worry too much about the day-to-day on, this type of news. Just understand that this is extremely bullish, for the next year, the last quarter of Q4. This is great news for SoFi. If you find any of this information useful, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's try and get the channel past 15,000 subs. Don't forget to smash the like button and drop a comment. How do you feel about this news? I want to hear your guys' opinion. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, you can see here, Supreme Court strikes down Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. We'll read a little bit of this. The 6-3 decision with conservative justices in the majority effectively killed the $400 billion plan announced by President Joe Biden last year and left borrowers on the hook for repayments that are expected to resume by late summer. And guys, it was absolutely insane movement today on the stock. You can see right here, we had a pullback early on in the morning of about 4% or something like that. The stock ended up getting halted, so that means, it was completely frozen. Then the news came out, the stock exploded up, almost 7% into the green, and then it's just a slow bleed throughout the entire day. So this had some crazy volatility, guys. It looks like it was a sell the news, regardless if it was good or bad. So short term, this really does, nothing for the stock, but, in the long term, this is just going to be more market share gained by SoFi, more people going to be refinancing with SoFi, and larger profits made by SoFi, allowing them to potentially double user growth. Starting in the first quarter of 2024, I think Q4 is going to be turning out some huge profits with student loans on the way. But of course, guys, don't forget, even the Supreme Court denying the $400 billion. Guys, we still have the Terminators out there, the robots that will not take no for an answer. Elizabeth Warren, more than 40 million hardworking Americans are waiting for the help that President Biden promised them. And they expect this administration to throw everything they got into the fight until they make good on this commitment. So what she's saying to me, it seems like you're not accepting no for an answer. Like the fight can never end. The Supreme Court, I thought that was the highest level of, judgment court or whatever. I'm not an expert in, government and stuff, but you're telling me you can't take a no from them and the fight continues? This is just what, the new generation is with social media. You're just going for votes. You're trying to get people to like you. You can't accept no, guys. The fight is over. I mean, where do we go after this? What is she talking about? This makes no sense. You have Joe Biden, the exact same as Elizabeth Warren. Unthinkable. The fight isn't over. I'll have more to announce when I address the nation this afternoon. So they're just trying to pull more strings. You have to understand, if this 400 billion isn't going to get paid for forgiveness, I mean, he's just going to come with something that's just more forgiveness. So it's just going to be money again. Someone has to pay it in the end, and it looks like no one's going to pay it. The taxpayers aren't paying it. So what is he going to say next? It just looks like they're going to try and milk this to the last second until 2024 elections are over and, the results are out. Until then, I don't think they are going to give up. And you're starting to see this. I mean, the Supreme Court, no, they don't stop. Now, my personal opinion, guys, I've been doing options for years. I've made a lot of money, lost a lot of money, but I've been doing really good, this past year, just being more and more cautious. And I'm telling you guys, the call options and put options were extremely high this week. And you can see, I mean, we got almost 400,000 worth of calls and puts. So everything is just going back and forth. As you can see, we went down, up, It just looks like they're trying to eliminate as much premium out of these, make them, both worthless. These expired today, so these are going to all go to basically nothing in the next 2 hours. But as you can see, the next 2 weeks, the calls and puts, they're not that bad. See, it cools off every 2 weeks. And then we got the same thing on July 21st. So maybe we see a nice little uptrend the next 2 weeks. That's why you're getting the crazy price action, guys. This is good news for SoFi. I wouldn't worry too much about the day to day. There's other factors such as puts and calls, that take into place. All right, guys, there you have it. I've been covering this topic for it seems like 2 years because Biden's extended it out nine times, and then he threw the 400 billion in place. Anthony Noto was all for it. Remember at the time given, he said, start the payments up now. You can do the forgiveness. SoFi didn't care. The CEO said, just give the forgiveness. We don't care. 10, 20 grand, whatever. But guys, Biden kept pushing it and pushing it, that extension. And now he's lost both. He lost the startup of the extensions. The payments are resuming, and he also lost the forgiveness. So it just looks like Biden got really greedy on his 2024, voting manipulation plan, and now he's scrambling for the next option. But in the end, someone has to pay back that loans, and it looks like nobody, in the Supreme Court, the taxpayers are not having to pay this. So what do we go from here, guys? Drop a comment. What is Biden's next plan? It just looks like the Terminators won't stop, in my personal opinion, but I'm really liking where the direction of SoFi is headed, for the next, couple of years with student loans starting back up. Massive profits on the way. Once again, my name is Kyle. Hope you have a great day.